What is going on, guys? Welcome back to The Rotation, your unofficial home for Call of Duty challenges. Lots to get through today. We've got the NA Elite Stage 1 quals, which finished off with 4 more teams making it through to the Elite late last night. We've also got some other players taking a step away from competing, and also a few little notes just to get through as well. But before we get into anything, I just want to share this quick little clip with you of a interesting bit of observing that the fantastic team at We Are Clutch managed to get on camera last night during the infamous Esports versus TFL Enterprises matchup. Logan brings it to the attention here, and just see two real sliding across the floor over towards the horse on Albagra Fortress. It's just a really funny moment. We're just going to take a look at these two more players looking at stepping away from competing in Call of Duty after we had quite a few retirements over on the EU side of things last night. Now it's the NA's turn, and PaulEhx, after being dropped by the London Royal Ravens in favour of Scraps, he is now taking a step back from competing for mental health reasons, which is absolutely fair enough. Again, supporting every single one of these players in their decisions to move away. If their mental health is suffering, that is the more important thing that is going on. And John Exotic as well, who's been a massive part of the Challenger scene ever since the Challengers came into conception in Modern Warfare 2019, and obviously competed for years before that as well. He's also insinuated that he may be on his way out of competing in Challengers as well. As you can see, he posted this GIF, Looney Tunes style, that's all folks GIF, on Twitter last night after failing to qualify in Map 5 Round 11, that Map 5 Round 11 is just one of 4 matches that ended up with qualification for the Elite last night over on the NA side of things. As you can see here from CDC Intel, we've got the 12 completed rosters on the NA side of things. We've got Breach Academy, Phase 1, Undeniable, PRS Gaming, Aphelion, RVNG, Revenge for short, Convoy Gaming, SmogX Alpha. Those are the 8 teams that managed to make it through on day 1, and then we've also got Ironblood Gaming, TFL Enterprises, Timor, and Rocker Academy, who have all joined them in the Elite Stage 1 in NA. And there was some very, very interesting series for qualification over in NA. None less so than that match that ended up with John Exotic and the rest of his team, Darkside, Phantoms, and Gintroid, losing out on the qualification round. So, as already mentioned, Exotic and Co, that's Exotic, Darkside, Gintroid, and Phantoms, they went all the way to Map 5 in the qualification match against the Rocker Academy, who had already been knocked out of the winners bracket on Wednesday evening. And it was a really, really close map, but in the end, it's PaulEhx and Fame who managed to come up huge in the Map 5. 23 kills between the two of them, and they've managed to secure their passage through into Challengers Elite Stage 1. And the same cannot be said for the other big academy team over in NA, which is LAG. They made big changes heading into Elite Stage 1, with 3 of the Rally Open winners moving up to their main team, being Exceed, Joe Deceives, and Assault. So they have had to reshape their entire academy roster, and they've moved from being the champions of the Open to being a top 16 team in NA. Their roster now currently consists of Spark, Neptune, the 2 former players of the LAG main team, alongside Noisy and DiamondCon, who was unlucky not to get picked up by the LAG main team because he was absolutely frying both in rally and online beforehand as well. He was an absolute monster on the map, and it just didn't translate as much this time around. And as you can see on the screen now, I'll play the clip for you in full in just a moment, but they lost to Team War in their Map 5 of their series to qualify, even though Haggy, a Parasite, only dropped a 1 in 10 performance on LSC, Search and Destroy. It didn't matter. The rest of his team managed to clutch up, with Johnny dropping 12 kills, Lau dropping 10 of his own, and it was just not enough for LAG, and Team War managed to make the Elite. Team War, obviously a massive Challengers organisation, they've been around for years now. Kev, who owns Team War, does a fantastic job of promoting the Challenger scene in ways that not many people do, and it's paid off for them here as they managed to make it through to the Elite.
Fire does respond back 2-2 now. Lau's coming in to check the bomb, but this is not good for LAG Academy. They have little to no plays made. and they need to get on this bomb now. Lau takes out Spark. Diamond calls your last man here. He's going to have to kill Lau, and he does, but there's not enough time, and he's run out, so that's going to be Team War coming in and qualifying for the Elite season.
Team War, they made it a little bit worrisome for us, but they close it.
So now, certain teams being in the Elite in NA and EU are going to be pretty much guaranteed to have high seeds in the Boston Open when it comes to that at the start of February, because the Elite grants so many pro points that they're going to be able to get all the way up those rankings. They're not going to be able to be passed by teams below them because they're going to be awarded points for the cup that they can't play in, which isn't this weekend's cup. It's the cup that comes next weekend in between the 2 weeks of Elite play. So those teams, some of them are still struggling to even be able to attend the Boston Open, as you see Dan Ghosty here complaining about not having a team pass for the event yet. Again, just like in the Rally Open, the team pass is sold out pretty quickly after Rally, because people knew then that the teams they were going to move forward with or not. But the 96 team passes that were made available are no longer there to be bought because they have all sold out, and you've got several top teams still in need of a team pass for this next event, which was, again, it was the case back in Rally, and it's probably going to be the case throughout the year if the league stays firm in their stance of not selling any more after they've sold out. And they could have easily accommodated more people in Raleigh, and they could probably easily accommodate more people in Boston with a separate venue for challengers especially, although it is still technically in the same building. It's the other side of the baseball ground that is Fenway Park, and it is going to be just the 96 teams that do take part. There's not going to be 8 extra teams like there were in Raleigh, because the 8 teams that dropped down from the Pro-Am also got to play. Also, that does mean that there's not going to be any complications in terms of reseeding a bracket at top 32 or anything like that either. So it's going to be a straight shootout from top 96 all the way down to the eventual winners on Sunday the 5th of February. And just quick to mention, happy birthday, Penbloyd Harpis, to Dave, who will be competing in the Elite starting next week, and obviously this weekend's Cup as well, with his team. No. We'll get there. But Dave turned 25, which is pretty old by Call of Duty esports players' standards, but he is still flying at the top level in European competition. The Welshman did a fantastic job in qualifying for Elite Stage 1, and looking forward to seeing what he can do next week as part of the Elite. And then just to finish off, we got a couple of clips here to show you. The first here from BB Connor, part of the Superstars roster that qualified in EU for the Elite last night. This clip of a cruise missile. I'm not quite sure how he's managed to control it and bend the cruise missile as well as he has done here, but it's something that a player far better than myself has managed to do, and he's managed to get the kill anyway. In the clip that I'll play in full in a second, you're going to hear even he's a little bit confused that he's managed to get it.
He's on the green top.
Yeah, 2 on point, 1 in green.
On the court.
On the street.
Nice. You gonna be a building?
Oh, fabulous. Kill 2.
And finally, this last clip, it comes from Eric Boom, who does throw a chal. Well, he gets a chal thrown at him on Albagra Fortress hardpoint. You can see in the top left corner of this clip that his ping just completely spikes to ridiculous levels moments before the chal. Obviously, it doesn't help that he does also get pretty badly beaten in this gunfight. But this is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. Lots of players are starting to report these kind of issues where just randomly their game would spike to ridiculous pings. The servers seem to be holding up a lot worse than they have done in recent weeks, in the last couple of days. I'm not sure why. Again, I'm not a developer, I'm not part of Activision, I don't understand the ins and outs of the servers that they do host the games on, but it seem to be increasingly a problem. It was a problem in the Elite as well, the Elite quals, especially on the EU. I saw Ali Season, he was complaining about it at one point, but it does seem to be an issue, and if we are going to continue with online matches, then we're going to have to see some sort of improvement in the way the servers are stabilized, because without stability in the servers, it's just going to be so inconsistent. And obviously Eric here is blaming the connection for losing this gunfight. Obviously, I think he probably loses it anyway, but it does still seem to be a bit of a problem that is starting to creep in. And then the last thing to mention is that we have the Challengers Cup number 3 happening starting tomorrow, or, well, late tonight if you are APAC region. But it will be every team playing as normal for points and prizing as normal. Some players were a bit confused that wouldn't be the case because of qualifying for the Elite, but it is in fact next weekend's Cup number 4, that those players cannot take part in. So we can expect to see the best of the best once again in action coming up this weekend